Hi, I'm Erik Voss, and Spider-Man Far From Home dazzles us with insane imagery and details, with pretty much every shot covered with interesting clues to find, and also pretty much every shot probably lying to us about whether it's real or a Mysterio illusion. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be able to drive through fog again. There's just so much in this movie that the filmmakers actually had to remove some even crazier scenes and imagery that would have made Far From Home a very different movie, including a pretty cool alternate version of Mysterio's illusion montage. I'm gonna explain what you missed, and spoiler warning in case you don't want to know. Okay, first, Far From Home doesn't waste much time before sending Peter Parker and his classmates off to Europe, but originally, the first act of this movie had a lot more action with Spider-Man in New York. A lot of this deleted footage actually appeared in marketing for the film. Might have seen it in trailers. There was going to be a montage of Peter's to-do list before he left, including returning to Del Mar's Deli from Spider-Man Homecoming, getting his passport, which might have led to some interesting confusion since Peter would be 5 years older, at least on paper, than he should be, thanks to the blip. There's also going to be a scene in which Peter sold his Star Wars toys in order to buy a present for MJ, but he was unable to part ways with his Lobot figurine. I actually went into that one in another video. But most critically from this to-do list, Peter was going to use his Iron Spider suit to take down a major crime syndicate, which a deleted clip of Aunt May hints at from a trailer.
Take down the Manfredi mob.
So in the Spider-Man comics, the Manfredis are the crime gang of Silvio Manfredi, aka the villain Silvermane, who might have been connected to the elaborately dressed figure that Spider-Man has webbed up hanging from behind the chandelier. He or she appears to be wearing a leopard print outfit, leading me originally to speculate that this could be a version of Kraven the Hunter. But either way, it appears that originally this first act was going to show Spider-Man making more and more enemies locally in New York before leaving for Europe. Add the Manfredis to Adrian Toomes and Matt Gargan, still plotting revenge against Peter from that Homecoming post-credit scene. And perhaps Far From Home was gonna set the stage for a long list of villains waiting for Peter back home. These villains could get mobilized by J. Jonah Jameson into a collective, kind of like the Sinister Six. I'll dig into that more in an episode coming soon. The director of this movie, John Watts, has said that this first act montage will appear as a short film for the movie's Blu-ray release later this year. But that brings us to my favorite sequence of Far From Home, the Mysterio illusion montage, which was already packed with insanely trippy imagery, from a zombie Iron Man to Spider-Man trapped in a snow globe. But the film's visual effects supervisor said that their main priority here was to differentiate this sequence from Doctor Strange's Multiverse Magical Mystery Tour, and that crafting the montage was one of the most complicated processes of the production, and that lots of alternate surreal imagery had to be removed. This included a fight in which the cape of Mysterio creates a monster that attacks Spider-Man, who would be running on a giant chessboard and later on giant piano keys. He said that there was also a deleted shot of masks of various sizes and a giant spider in a spider web attacking Peter, and that this got to be 75% completed before it was dropped, and thank God, because that shit would have redirected my eyes to the floor and made me miss every Easter egg left in the film. If only all spiders could be just illusions. The VFX supervisor also pointed out one cool Easter egg that actually stayed in, though the camera movement makes it really hard to see. I did catch part of it in my full movie breakdown, go check that out. But at one point you can see Spider-Man standing on a stone base of Captain America's shield, and apparently surrounding him are statues of all of the fallen superheroes from Avengers Endgame, including Iron Man, Black Widow, Vision, and Cap. I know Cap's not technically fallen, though he's not in their world anymore, so they kind of view him as fallen. So if you look beside that giant shield, there's actually Cap's face, and I'm pretty sure that was Cap's fist that crushes down on top of Peter. And you'll notice that the only statue left standing is that of Mysterio, representing how, in Mysterio's eyes, in the ashes of Tony Stark and the rest, Mysterio is now the world's new Avenger to rise, not Spider-Man. And speaking of post-Endgame Avengers, the writers did reveal that they also wanted to try to work in a cameo by the new Captain America, Sam Wilson, though the director said that that idea was just a rumor and was never fully developed. Watts also said that they considered trying to work in an Easter egg to Captain Britain, the group of alternate reality Avengers led by a British version of Cap. This group also included a British version of Spider-Man, aka Spider UK, Billy Braddock. We did get kind of close to a reference to him though. The fake alternate dimension that Mysterio claimed to be from Earth 833, which in the comics Marvel Multiverse is the home universe of Spider UK. And finally, we did also learn about an alternate ending to Far From Home. See, instead of being outed and framed by Mysterio and J. Jonah Jameson in the post-credit scene, originally Spider-Man was going to voluntarily sacrifice his identity publicly during the final battle with Mysterio in London. But I want to dig into this alternate ending a bit more in another video that will be coming out soon. Now, I do have more Far From Home breakdowns in the works. I'm going to talk about what directions the third movie of this trilogy could go, with Peter Parker now exposed by J. Jonah Jameson, and possible appearances by the Sinister Six or Venom, as well as Mysterio's secret plan here, like how his illusions worked exactly and how deep they went. And soon, Marvel Studios will return to Hall H of Comic-Con, where Kevin Feige will make his little cameo and give us a ton of details about the future of the MCU. There's just gonna be so much to talk about, and I don't want to drive myself crazy trying to tackle all of it alone again this year, so hopefully I can get some new friends to come in and help out. But which of these deleted scenes would you have preferred to have stayed in the film? Comment down below with your thoughts, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Erik Voss, and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns and theories about everything Marvel. Thank you for joining me, and recently I assumed a spider was just a false projection by Mysterio, and now it laid eggs in my brain.